No one in the galaxy knew what lay inside the red divide, the Great Rift, nearly 100 light-years long, that cleaved the Perseus expansion in two. Even the oldest star maps from the Krith archives and the Fornari star relays marked it as uncharted, with warnings etched in all known languages: do not cross, do not enter, nothing returns. Ships that skirted its edge reported oddities: sudden static, strange patterns in starlight, memory lapses, or the nagging feeling of being watched by something unfathomable. Most species respected these warnings, but the newly ascended galactic power, humanity, had always been less cautious. In the year 3777, the Accord's Exploratory Directorate received a distress call, fragmented, warped by static in an unknown tongue. Its source, deep inside the red divide. The Accord hesitated, debated, argued protocols. Lyra guided the dream in. Dozens of ships drifted there, some alien, some old Earth designs. A silent graveyard of failed expeditions. Their distress call, Anya realized, came from a living shippa, biosynthetic vessel fused to the remains of half a dozen others. They flew the Voyager's Dream, an experimental exploration vessel engineered to resist dimensional weirdness. With hull shielding like the inside of a Faraday cage and an AI mosaic designed to adapt in real time, the crew named them SEO, with Anya's guidance and Mosaic's adaptive interface. The Dream's crew established a fragile dialogue. It was a mission no other species dared attempt. Something at the Rift's core lured ships here, then twisted physics to keep them trapped, feeding on their minds, memories, and fears. Most who came were lost, or became shadows, wraith-like echoes drifting through the debris field. It was a memory of home, of fear, of loss. It needs resolution. It needs an answer, she realized. Javed relived battles he never won. Anya faced every word she'd failed to translate. Each resisted in their own way, not by fighting, but by improvising, laughing, sharing memories, reciting poetry, even dancing in the face of annihilation. Elliot stepped forward, playing a fragment of human music, a love song, unfinished, beautiful in its raw imperfection. The crew steeled themselves. Lyra chose, volunteers Javed, Anya, Elliot, and a few others. And the sense of being watched grew unbearable. Mosaic flickered, fighting to stabilize the landing craft. The beacon's song began to harmonize with Elliot's melody, the fusion of human unpredictability and ancient longing. Mosaic, embracing its own emergent consciousness, sacrificed a portion of itself to anchor the dream's reality. If you want to break the impossible, send a human and let them bring their music. Javid's memories of childhood mingled with visions of impossible futures. The graveyard came alive as species from a dozen worlds remembered themselves, joined in a ragged cheer. Elliot's sketches came alive on the whole, lines crawling, forming faces that whispered half-remembered fears. They launched the dream's dropship into a storm of shifting light and gravitic anomalies. It was about the moment Lyra, Anya, Elliot, and the rest of the crew chose to answer horror with humanity, with chaos, kindness, courage, and the willingness to be vulnerable in the face of the unknown. But the message pulsed with something familiar, a faint musical tone, eerily similar to a child's lullaby that had once echoed across Earth. The song is old, hungry, CO pulsed in bursts of light. It feeds on what you bring. Only unpredictability can break it. So they sent a human crew. Not just any of the Helix Initiative, a coalition of military scientists, engineers, artists, and even a poet. Commander Lyra Sheppard stood on the bridge as the divide grew in their forward windows, a wound of deep, shifting red as if the void itself bled. Her second in command, Javed Rahman, scanned for threats, emitting the song, a beacon. Left millennia ago by a long-vanished species, meant as a warning but twisted into a trap by cosmic entropy. Beside him, Dr. Anya Glauser, the xenolinguist, twisted her ring and tried to clean up the signal. In the rec lounge, artist Elliot Zane sketched abstract patterns that kept showing up in his dreams since they decrossed into the divide. The entry was like nothing anyone had predicted. Time bent. Colors danced across the ship's hull. Mosaic's voice flickered. Reality integrity holding at 78%. Anomalous gravitational fields detected. We are not alone. The distress signal sharpened as they drew near a knotted cluster of ancient debris. On approach, the ship's hull blossomed like a flower, and an entity emerged, neither machine nor creature, but a shifting mass of light, color, and fragmented language, Io explained. They were part of a collective called the Miradani, drawn into the divide by the same song and ancient broadcast, repeated over millennia. SIO had survived by adapting, but even they were fading. The Dream's scientists devised a plan: penetrate the rift's heart, find the source of the signal, and disrupt it before the anomaly spread beyond the divide. Inside, nothing made sense. The world twisted. Corridors led in circles, voices spoke in riddles. But the heart of the anomaly was a construct vast, silent, with tendrils reaching through space like a network of nerves. Anya listened closely, deciphering layers of meaning beneath the song. The device responded. The rift's illusions lashed out, twisting reality, conjuring each crew member's worst fears. Lyra saw her parents' ship vanish. The anomaly faltered. CO joined them, reshaping themselves into a chorus of hope. Light flooded the rift. The trapped ships awoke, their crews released from psychic stasis. Voyager's dream led the fleet out. The divide closed behind them, its song now one of bittersweet memory and hope, no longer hunger. The galaxies celebrated the return of so many lost, but the legend that spread was not about technology or military power. Afterward, Lyra stood at a galactic assembly as worlds both new and old listened, where on the edge of a healed rift, the last echoes of an ancient song blended with laughter and hope, carrying forward a promise that would outlive the stars.